Alright guys, it's 8:35 and it is probably day 9 of this. Still wouldn't be able to tell you for a fact, but yeah, day 9, 8, 9, something like that of whatever this is. Currently headed to the shop, or not the shop, sorry. I literally woke up, I woke up 5 minutes ago, about. I was watching some of the Dan Hooker 1 minute fights, something like that. The dads only edition. Bunch of dads scrapping for a minute. I think for like a chance to win 50 grand or something. Yeah, I was watching those. I suppose I fell asleep. Didn't fall asleep long, probably like 5-10 minutes. Woke up to like a little alarm because I know I have to go to the gym. Um, I got the goal, wrap up hour or less, because I got a Walmart pickup for my groceries that I've been putting off for like 3 days, from 9 to 10. So I got a plan to finish around 9:30. Quick 5 minute drive home. Um, yeah, quick 5 minute drive home. Grab my girlfriend. She's the one that made the order. Go pick it up. So today's arms. Don't know if I already said that. Typically, I like to start off. Well, anytime I do arms, I, I have a whole dedicated arm day. So, of course, biceps, kind of get touched on a little bit whenever you're doing back or whatever, and then triceps get a little fatigued whenever you're doing chest. But, you know, and shoulders and whatnot also. Rear delts for back, front delts for chest and all that sort of stuff. But anytime I do arms, I superset a bicep and a tricep movement. So bicep straight to a tricep movement, rest, bicep, tricep, rest, whatever it is. And then I go to a shoulder movement, a side delt. I don't work my front delts. I don't. Is that something a lot of people do? I feel like most people have issues trying to not use their front delt on like pressing stuff. So I just do side delt and then rear delt. Anyway, so yeah, superset a tricep bicep movement, shoulder, superset tricep bicep, shoulder, tricep bicep, shoulder, and then however many times I feel like will suffice. And that's what's worked for me. So in terms of today, didn't do much. Sent out about 15 proposals. So I had some leads to catch up on. So I have at the moment right now, my current thought is to just send out proposals as soon as possible so that they can get a price. Because the whole point of getting somebody on the phone, people, as far as I understand, will convert better if you get them on the phone, right? You call them like the sooner you get a lead and the sooner you get them on the phone. And if you're decent at sales, of course, when I say that, obviously you don't want to manipulate people. What I mean is, whenever you have something you're confident in that you can kind of be passionate about, like literally helping them make the right decision, it's kind of difficult for me as the business owner, because of course I do think that I am going to give them a better result, but above that, I'm more interested in getting them scheduled for the money side of things. So naturally, it feels not the way it's supposed to. For like, I heard the best way to, kind of go about sales, just fundamentally, is make a friend help a friend. You're not convincing people to buy something they don't want. And feel free, whenever, if at any point this starts to get views and you're watching this, feel free to disregard anything I say about sales, because I really am not that good at it. It's what you would call, oh, what's the word? Man, I am losing words so often now. This is a problem. Oh gosh. It's like whatever knowledge versus this knowledge. One knowledge is like knowing about the thing, what it is, how it works, stuff like that. The other is how to actually do it. For example, if I said, how do you run a business or whatever, it would be like, oh yeah, keep, expenses low, Yeah, keep expenses low, increase profit, decrease churn. It's like, you know what all these things are, you know what the right thing to do is, but whenever you kind of actually get into the actual like steps to achieve those things, you don't know how. Same thing with sales. I've read plenty of books, listened to podcasts. Obviously, I've dove into it a little bit. I've read scripts. I've kind of realized a little bit more of what works and what doesn't. Um, yeah, just a good fundamental thing is, yeah, or make a friend and help a friend. So whenever you get on the phone with somebody, obviously, be friendly, and then, see if you can help them, because the idea is not to sell people something that they don't want. It's to which, I mean, for me, this isn't necessarily a thing, I suppose. I guess it kind of is, because generally speaking, like, let's say you have 100 people reach out. There's going to be a small percentage that are always going to buy no matter what price. They're just calling, get me in, book. Those are lay down sales. So a small percentage of that. There's a small percentage that you will never sell no matter what, and then there's everybody else in the middle that needs some more information, needs a little bit, wants to trust you, like whatever it is. They need some information about the product. They need some information about you. They're in the middle. They're undecided, but they want the thing. Those are the ones that are worth working on. And so I lost my train of thought. I think what I was trying to say is, I'm going back to just sending out proposals, because I'm not much of a salesperson right now. I don't think I can put much effort or focus into it. And so, rather than waiting until like later in the afternoon to call them when pickup rates are higher, and seeing if I can sell them, even though I'm not really using a script. Most times I'm calling them just to give them a price, and then they're getting off the phone. So right now, what's sustainable for me is going to be going back to sending out proposals, and the sooner the better, obviously, but just so that they can get a price. And if I really need to, I can follow up call and stuff like that. Now, if you're asking me, if I was talking to, if you, if I was you, and I was telling you this, I would be telling you, and this is how you should think. I would be telling you, this is why other people will beat you, because you can't make that script, because you can't commit to just calling people, whatever it is that you're not doing. This is why that other person that's just doesn't even have to like really knock all those out of the park. They just have to do one of those things better than you, and then there's another guy doing better than them. Now, realistically, so many, like, everybody's lazy as fuck. You can put a lot of like word soup, I don't know what you'd call it. You could put whatever together to kind of cope for stuff like this. I have reasons that are that could justify why I'm kind of taking it easy. But at the end of the day, it is laziness. And if you can talk to yourself that sort of way, you're going to be better off. I'm aware of it. I'm not okay with it, but I recognize it, and I'm adjusting for the moment. I have seasons where I do much better. I have seasons where I don't do much better. Ideally, you're far more consistent than I am, but so that sucks, but that's where we are right now, and I just wanted to document that. But, and this is the worst part, before this year, I always sent out proposals for the most part, and that's what got my business to where it is. And so it's so easy to justify, like, don't fix it if it ain't broke or whatever. But it's like, that's how you stay in the same spot. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So I'm doing this to stay in the same spot, which is also not good. I mean, if that's your goal, then great. But I suppose that is going to be my short-term goal. And what I was getting to is, what sucks is I sent out those proposals, right? One accepted for $275, one accepted for $360. Quick math is something like $630, I don't know, somewhere in that neighborhood. So, of course, it's going to be very easy to justify, hey man, we went back to this really easy thing, and it worked. Now, will I call them and will they book? That we'll have to figure out, because they looked at the price, there's no issues. They chose whatever options they wanted, they accepted. I just got to call and get a proposal or a deposit. 9 times out of 10, it's really not an issue, but I will say in this one of the guys that accepted, the $360 one, when he accepted, you can put in notes, and so he needs a removal. Now, will I call him and tell him, yeah, that's going to be extra $150, and he's going to go, never mind? And then that's where my sales would come in? That's where they should come in? I'm not going to say I foresee him saying no after the removal fee, but I wouldn't be surprised. Now, the other one is just a standard, install, nothing there. So, we'll see. This is yeah. Yeah, I just got to get better. Like, yeah. So I'm on limited time. I wanted to document that. That's where my mind is right now. Some days super motivated, some days I'm not. There's always that quote where it's like, discipline starts where motivation ends. And at one point, like, I really did have it, and I like could rewire my brain to like not even get in these thoughts or whatever. And like I still know all those things. I still think all those things. It just feels like I'm stuck. Um, and I'll quickly kind of share why. Again, I have like these things that justify, but at the end of the day, you can put all this together, cope, try and make yourself feel better about it, but at the end of the day, it is just laziness. Now, because people have worked way harder for much larger portions of their lives and still had more drive than I do. But currently, I could be doing a whole lot better. The reason and you never actually know. Everything you do is just guessing. You try and like think about things. Why do you feel certain ways? You think you know yourself, and like you might really know yourself, but at the end of the day, you don't know. You're just guessing. I am under the impression that I just really grinded. Didn't care what the weather was. Didn't care if I was doing it outside. Didn't care if I sucked at it. Didn't care if I had the most fun. I just kept going, kept going, kept going. Was excited for the next day. 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 And I got to that point where I did well. Kind of built the business, and then I kind of hit those like really hard spots. And again, those hard spots are where everybody else gives up. So it was just like more motivation. Like it won't get harder. Not that things literally won't get harder, but because you kind of rise to that occasion, you get stronger, they get harder. So it doesn't get harder. You just keep going. And that is just kind of a way to think about it. But and I would just get like so hyped and go, go, go. And it just wasn't sustainable. So now I'm just trying to find that balance. Balance is another bad word you shouldn't use. Balance is honestly for losers. Like, you think the guy that's gonna take over your like area, the guy that's really gonna like stick out from the others, the guy that's gonna be an exception, by definition exceptional, do you think he has balance? Probably not. And so I know all these ways to like rewire my brain, but it's just like I almost gassed myself out. I had like a 4-year push, and so basically I'm at a spot right now where I do have some things to catch up on, and so I could do like another 1-year hard push, and I'd end up a little bit ahead, or I know I have the option to cruise and recover and live to fight another day. It's like, let's say I'm if you guys are a UFC fan, huge UFC fan, UFC's back this weekend, super excited. But let's say UFC fight, 5-round championship fight. I am, 5-round championship fight. I'm up 3, but fucked myself for the 4th round. I can either really try and push it the 4th round, get that knockout, and if I don't, 5th round me is probably toast. Or I'm up 3, I can cruise 1 because I'm not afraid of their knockout power. I know I can stay safe. I'm still there, but I can't give it another 4th. So recover that 4th round and then come back swinging the 5th. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I still have all the same mentality, the same way of thinking. I'm never gonna think I'm a victim. I'm never gonna think, oh, like somebody else had it easier. I'm not. I have all that in me still. But this year, I think I got to build myself back up. And if that means doing it in the most efficient way possible, so that when it's time to really fucking like hit it again, then I can, then that's what I'm gonna do. Again, like that. If I say it like that, it sounds like, oh yeah, of course you do that. That's genius. Yeah, you're working smarter, not harder. And it's just like, at the end of the day, I'm 23. I do have that in me. Well, technically, I don't know if I have that. I mean, maybe like I really do push it that hard for another year and I don't make it. You know, if you talk to entrepreneurs that are really hardcore, they talk about like work yourself harder than you've ever done, like than you've ever worked before, just to show yourself you're not as fragile as you think. And so right now, I feel like I've broken like a barrier before where I'm like, holy shit, I've never worked out hard before. But right now, what I'm needing is to break it again. And as of right now, I don't feel like I have that in me. If you talk to like a legit, exceptional, the like 1%, 0.1% business, they're gonna say you always have that next level. It's just about how bad do you want it. So just two perspectives. Maybe it is like I know myself and I know my limit, or maybe it is that I don't want it enough to make that my new baseline. But anyway, I got to get in there. I just wanted to document this. I'm going to be cruising. As of right now, this is the plan. Cruising, paying the debts, live to fight another day, and just hit the ground running whenever I've recovered. So, going to go in there, hit this arm workout super fast because I took too long talking. So I'll see you guys in there. Hopefully I have enough time to film the pump.